retail space has changed forever. And I'm not just talking about another algorithm update or slight dip in consumer spending. We're talking about a fundamental shift in the way people research, discover, and buy your products online. And the retailers who aren't staying up to date, they're not just going to slow down, they're going to fail. In this video, we're going to look at the AI innovations and social platforms that are leading this revolution. But before we get into that, I need to tell you why I'm qualified to lead this conversation. 15 years ago, I joined my friend's startup. We were a small business that I then grew into one of the largest Shopify agencies in APAC. We were platinum partners with Shopify Plus. We had over 80 staff. We were advising over 150 brands. Brands like Whitefox, Showpo, Myer, Strandbags, and L'Occitane. At one point, we were the premier agency in APAC. I was personally advising some of the biggest names in the region. About 10 years in, I hit a wall. I felt like there was more to give. I wanted to make a bigger impact. And so I decided to move into my own agency. But as soon as I walked out the door in the first month, I was acquired by a brand-sided merchant advisory team as the tech advisor. Throughout that entire journey, across many high-stakes meetings with brands, there was one common thread that kept coming up. My agency does not understand me. This frustration is why I started Milk. We're not a traditional agency that takes everything from a developer's perspective. We're unique. We take your perspective. We put on our merchant hat and we look at what's the real problems in your business. When the merchant works with a dev agency, traditionally the dev agency will try and solve problems from their perspective. But the merchant's perspective is not really considered. Milk has been built with the whole goal of empowering your vision. To make this happen, the team and I looked at what were the fundamental issues in the ecosystem today. And we realized most brands are locked in. You can't make decisions if you're locked into an ongoing retainer contract. So how do we empower brands to get out of that contract and own their decisions again? And the impact of this model, this way of thinking, speaks for itself. The brands we've worked with, Alame, Lanolips, Oricom International, and many more, are finding that they can make decisions every day without needing to think about ongoing costs as part of the equation. What this means is that you now have the power to make decisions and own the opportunities without being reliant on developer contracts. So what do I define as empowerment for brands? It comes down to three simple things. Freedom, so you're no longer reliant on your agency. Clarity, so you know what your data is doing for you and what you need to do with it. And growth, leveraging that data to really push your brand to new heights. But enough about Milk. All of this is just to tell you why I'm qualified to talk about the retail revolution. And right now, we're seeing a massive economic shift. Between the US's 10% import surcharge and the suspension of the de minimis exemption, the era of cheap retail is under fire. This is directly impacting retail confidence. Consumer spending confidence has plummeted by 36%, and buyers have become hypersensitive to purchasing price. They aren't just shopping, they're now hunting for promos. But while the economy is tight, AI and technology are moving at light speed. Google just announced GPC, and they're enforcing their requirements for Google AI search. In addition to this, ChatGPT has officially partnered with Shopify, allowing users to buy products directly within the chat window. Lovable is now a new tool allowing brands to launch Shopify stores within minutes using natural language. And Shopify has released the Renaissance update, now empowering their sidekick to have full agentic control over your store. Over the next year, we'll start to see the agentic e-commerce phase take over. Buyers will be able to research and purchase all in the same window. On top of that, social selling is transforming how consumers purchase products online. TikTok Shop has proven to be a goldmine for merchants. In the US alone, there are over 171,000 small businesses now operating TikTok shops. We're seeing creators move over 650,000 orders for small businesses, and that's just in the first year. In fact, over 76% of consumers who engaged a TikTok shop bought something off a live stream last year. So what does this mean for you? It means online revenue channels are diversifying. We're starting to see two distinct channels form here. AI-driven research for calculated buyers and social-driven shoppertainment for impulse buyers. I've seen this myself, the same product being bought in completely different ways. So what should you do to stay relevant in this retail revolution? Leverage the data in your store to understand traffic drivers and the consumer behavior. Adopt the product data recommendations Shopify's AI makes. Talk to your SEO agency and ask them to optimize your content for AI. If you haven't already, consider implementing an affiliate or brand ambassador program. And if you're considering TikTok Shop, which comes later this year, make sure you're ready. It's its own sales channel. You need to be able to process orders and respond to customers at a rapid pace. Over my career, I've seen merchants struggle the most when change is happening at an unprecedented rate. And that's where we are right now. If you want to prepare your brand for the shift to agentic e-commerce and get rid of these outdated agency models, hit the subscribe button below and follow along.